of this program. Of course, I love to share information with you so that you are informed and know what is happening. I have a notice here as it relates to some tax advisory or VAT-free items for the remainder of this year from July 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2024. So instructions for taxpayers on filing VAT returns during the concession period or the tax periods of July, August, and September 2024. As part of the recently announced concessions on school supplies and cooling equipment, not for commercial use, no VAT will be charged on these items. To ensure compliance and proper reporting, you are encouraged to follow the simplified instructions. 1. File as you normally would. Continue to file your VAT returns by the prescribed deadline as you normally would, and all items not subject to the concessions will be reported as normal. 2. Report sales of concession items. Report the sales of eligible school items and cooling equipment on the zero-rated supplies line of your VAT return. 3. You are expected to complete the monthly concession sales schedule, that is, on the IRD's prescribed form. That's the Inland Revenue Department. Now, this includes item description, quality or quantity sold, and value of items. 4. Submit the sales schedule. So you are expected to attach the completed sales schedule to your monthly VAT return if filed manually. If you are filing online, email a copy of the monthly concession sales schedule to the Inland Revenue Department at inlandrevenue@ird.gov.kn in St. Kitts or ird@niagov.com, Nevis, by the filing deadline. And 5. Adhering to these simplified steps will ensure compliance within the VAT-free period on school supplies and cooling equipment. So the temporary concessions on school supplies, as I mentioned, is from this month, July, to the ending of September. And the eligible supplies are items such as exercise books, textbooks, geometry sets, rulers, T-squares, pens, pencils, crayons, markers, school bags, dictionaries, cloth for making school uniforms such as the pants, shirts, skirts, blouses, jumpers, ties, crests. All of these items fit under the temporary concessions that end on September 30th, 2024. You are encouraged to take advantage of these concessions. If you need more information and you are residing on the island of St. Kitts, you may call 465-8485, or if you are on the island of Nevis, you may call 469-5856. And you also have the option of visiting the website at www.sknird.com for more information. So those are the numbers you call, and as the website link for you to get more information on the temporary concessions as it relates to school supplies. Don't wait until the last minute to say that you're doing your shopping. Take advantage of this wonderful opportunity now, so that you can save big on the temporary concessions that end on September 30th, 2024, by the time you look around school opens. There is also temporary concessions on air cooling devices. This also ends on September 30th, 2024. And it includes air conditioning units, including mobile, with the BTU strength of 24,000 or less. Fans, including ceiling, standing, wall-mounted, table, etc., and evaporative coolers. Again, If you need more information on the temporary concessions, if you are in St. Kitts, call 465-8485 or Nevis 469-5856, or you may visit their website for more details. It is 6 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and you're listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We'll take a short ad break, and when we come back, we'll get into our conversation for today. Stay tuned.
Attention all businesses. The back-to-school season is here, and ZIZ Radio and Television has an unbeatable offer just for you. From July 1st to August 31st, take advantage of our special back-to-school promotion and reach thousands of parents, students, and educators. Whether you're selling school supplies, clothing, or offering educational services, ZIZ Radio and Television is your perfect partner. Our comprehensive advertising packages will help you connect with your target audience and boost your sales. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to showcase your products and services. Contact our sales and marketing department today at 465-26212 to book your spot. ZIZ Radio and Television, your trusted partner for your successful back-to-school promotions.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today, Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. If you are just tuning in, earlier I shared information on the temporary tax concessions for school supplies here in St. Kitts, or school supplies, and air cooling devices or air cooling units, and the concessions for these items end on September 30th, 2024. Again, you are being encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity that would allow you to save, and I would say save big. So please don't wait until the very last minute to say that you're rushing and then your items get here after the deadline. If you are not sure, you are encouraged to reach out to the Inland Revenue Department, where they would have all of the information that you would have. The only information I have here in front of me is the fact that these concessions are available and the eligible items. So call them and get more information on that. Looking briefly at sports, St. Kitts has been, I would say, in the spotlight for quite some time, as the Lewin brothers have been doing some tremendous work in the area of cricket, and they need all the support that we can give as a country. We need to support them in any way that we possibly can, and by showing words of encouragement and words of wisdom, words of advice, to let them know that we are behind them 100%. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew on his Facebook page recently congratulated Jazara Claxton. Jazara Claxton has also been doing a lot of great work in the area of sports here in St. Kitts and Nevis, particularly on St. Kitts. And she has been making a name for herself. She has been making what I would say is a positive contribution towards the development of sports in the country and towards the overall development of St. Kitts and Nevis. And she has been out there letting people know that there are young people out there doing wonderful things. There are young people out there who are making a name for themselves. There are young people out there who are doing positive things for their community. And when we have young people who are doing these positive things, we ought to support them in any way that we possibly can. We ought to encourage them so that they can continue to make their contribution. The Prime Minister wrote, and I quote, "I want to congratulate the Leeward Islands Under-19 team for their outstanding performance in the CWI Rising Stars Under-19 Women's T20 Championship. The team finished second in the championship. I especially want to congratulate the members of the team from St. Kitts and Nevis, Jada Collins, Alia Weeks, Kizig Boyles, J. Kazanique Hodge, Zara Skerritt, Gabrielle Harrilal, and the captain, Jazara Claxton, who was named the tournament's MVP. Earlier this year, I appointed Jazara as the youth board member and the violence as a public health perspective committee. She is a shining example to her peers. I must also commend Charlene Martin and Percy Daniel, who served as team manager and assistant coach respectively, both of whom are from the Federation. Congratulations once again to the entire team. We continue to support your efforts." End of quote. That is from Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, congratulating Jazara Claxton and the other young people who have been putting St. Kitts and Nevis out there, who have been representing St. Kitts and Nevis and making a positive contribution towards their society, the society. Whenever I talk about young people and the positive contribution that they make towards the development of St. Kitts and Nevis, I go right back to the first program I had here on The Edge, when I highlighted a number of young people in St. Kitts and Nevis who I believe have been doing great work. And yes, there are young people who are unfortunately not making a positive contribution towards the country, and we are always quick to make mention of them. We are always quick to make mention of that certain group or subset of people. But at the same time, when we have young people and people in general who are doing great work, people who are making a real positive contribution, the onus is on us. We have a responsibility, I believe, to recognize them, even if it's simply to say you are doing a good job or thank you for your contribution. I think these things are really important, and sometimes it's not even just if the fame or the money or all of the perks, but it's how they feel at the end of the day, knowing that their country is proud, their family proud, their community proud, and that they have done well for St. Kitts and Nevis. And I believe that is really, really important. You are listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. I wanted to introduce those two light, not necessarily topics, but just, information sharing in terms of the temporary tax concessions, as well as the Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, congratulating Jazara and making mention of the Louis brothers as well, who have been representing St. Kitts and who have been doing some great work out there. And I use this platform to encourage them and wish them the very best in what they're doing now and in their future endeavors. I want to touch on this topic. I think we touched on it briefly as it relates to Social Security reform. And that has been I would say, a public discussion for quite some time in terms of Social Security reform. It has been, let me say, recently reintroduced back into the public sphere in terms of people talking about it, giving their take, views, and opinions on it. But the topic of Social Security reform has been on the table for quite some time. And finding, that is the powers that be, finding sustainable and innovative ways of ensuring that the fund remains viable. It remains there for our people to access. The Social Security Board has been doing what I deem a great job in attempting to educate the population on what the reform would mean for them. And so they have been hosting or holding a number of town hall meetings in and around St. Kitts and Nevis. They have been meeting with the civil society. They have been, meeting with groups and organizations that represent a wide cross-section of different people in St. Kitts and Nevis. They have been meeting with the young. I know they've met with the Youth Parliament Association here in St. Kitts. They have met with a number of groups. I think they either met with the chamber or are in the works or in the planning stage of meeting with the chamber. But the point is, they have been meeting with the chamber and other groups and organizations to talk about social security reform. Because social security is a entity that I would say is everybody's business in the sense that we ought to know what is the current status. We ought to know, the viability. We ought to know what is going on with Social Security. They have been sharing the information. And I'd like to engage with you, the listeners, on this topic, giving you, of course, an opportunity to share your views and opinions, your concerns, and put questions out there that the powers that be could answer those questions as it relates to Social Security reform. So, the case for urgent reforms to the Social Security structure in St. Kitts and Nevis has been stressed recently, and officials are undertaking broad-based public education and engagement. And as part of the engagement and education exercise, the idea is to gain information or garner information from you. What do you think should be done? What do you think reform should look like as it relates to the Social Security Fund? What are your ideas to ensure that the fund remains viable? These are all of the questions or conversations that are happening at this present moment in time. And so the director, Christopher Laward, said that the fund reached an inflection point in 2017 when you had a situation where the total expenditure surpassed contribution income. Demographics from the recently published 2021 Housing and Population Census revealed that St. Kitts and Nevis has a declining birth rate. And as I read that about the declining birth rate here in St. Kitts and Nevis, I remember, I think it was a few weeks ago, when a caller said that we need to do something about the making of babies. There need to be a pause on making babies in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I just find it ironic that here we have data that shows that we have a declining birth rate. Not many people are getting children today. Further, due to improvements in the healthcare, citizens and residents also are living longer, which is good. And so because people are living longer, they have reason now to access Social Security. So you have people who are living past 62, which is good. And people are able to claim their Social Security because they have worked, whether it be 20, 30, 40 years, their entire life. And so they can now claim that. Experts predict that the $1.7 billion that Social Security has in reserves will likely be depleted by 2040 unless urgent reforms are taken. This is alarming, of course. You have a Social Security fund. Of course, people are paying into that fund to secure their future, and whether it is their future, their family's future, their children's future. But we know in most cases, paying into the fund is mandatory. And I think it is important that we, while you may not necessarily agree with the reforms that are being suggested, as long as the reforms are sustainable and, let me say, risk-free, in the sense that proper risk assessment and all of that has been done, that it is absolutely urgent. It is absolutely necessary. The director said, and I quote, "The cost of the fund in 2023 was 16%. The cost of our benefit expenditure and the cost of our administrative expenditure." So we are seeing that we are collecting in terms of contribution income at 11%, but because of total significant increase in age pension, you can see clearly there is a gap. Recommendations in the actuarial report highlight 3 critical areas where meaningful consideration can be made. Now, it proposes consideration for an increase in the contribution rate, amendment to the pension formula, or increasing the pension age. Pension age, I believe, is at 62. What should it be increased to? Give us a call. What is your opinion on that in terms of increasing the pension age and increasing the contribution rate? We know recently the government allocated CBI funds to assist Social Security, and so they pumped funds into Social Security. Callers were of the opinion that that should not have been the case, should not have been the governments should not have to pump money into Social Security, when really and truly Social Security, how it is set up, it takes a percentage of our wage and put it aside in the event that we get sick or die or whatever the case is. But I like to deal with the reality, and the reality is there must have been a need for that injection, that financial injection. And so it was done. Let us not say, well, it should not happen, so let's don't let it happen, and then we lose the viability or the sustainability of the fund before the year 2040. But financial injections are not just what should be done to ensure that this fund goes way past the year 2040. It needs reform, and it needs reform now. You are listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll open the phone lines and begin taking your calls. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
The Caribbean, we boast a diverse abundance of flora and fauna that adorn our countries. This diversity follows through to our people, communities, and families.
As a doctor, I treat my patients with respect.
Throughout the Caribbean, we boast a diverse abundance of flora and fauna that adorn our countries. This diversity follows through to our people, communities, and families.
As a doctor, I treat my patients with respect and understanding, without stigma or discrimination, no matter their sexual orientation, practice, or belief. Remember, everybody deserves fair treatment.
As a mother and healthcare professional, I believe all Caribbean children should be safe, happy, and healthy. Let us create a safe, supportive environment for all Caribbean children to thrive.
Let us treat our LGBTQ+ family members with love and respect. Strong families create a stronger Caribbean. This message is brought to you by the Eastern Caribbean Alliance for Diversity and Equality.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host Devonne, Cornelius, and the phone lines are open. We are taking your calls. We have a call. Let's take our first call for this morning. Hello caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Good morning, Devonne. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. And you?
Oh, you're giving God thanks, man. I thank Him for the rain, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool down the heat. And all of you plan to go to hell hotter than this. Now, your introduction, let's deal with Social Security first. And then we come with the sports. Because I was listening to Observer Radio, and they were complaining, how come St. Kitts knew that the players were coming home, and people went to meet them and nobody in Antigua knew. So nobody was there to meet their players. And the emphasis since Nevis has more than St. Kitts. A little more emphasis should be placed on them. Now let me pass that. The one with the Social Security, in 2011-2012, the retirement bill was passed. And it was said that going forward, the government pension would be paid to Social Security. The government has been deducting 3% of the workers' wages. You're aware of that, right?
Yes.
That should go to Social Security. Now, there is a dispute between what the Prime Minister said and what the facts show. When he spoke about having to put money into Social Security, that was disputed, not in the anger of Extra, right? By the Communication Division of the Social Security. So Social Security is not in any trouble. We have this 1 point something in reserves because it only makes sense for what he said. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but most of the debt to Social Security is owed by the two governments and the statutory bodies. Whenever the government wants to build houses, they borrow Social Security money.
Caller? When you say the two governments, you mean...
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Oh, okay.
You know, we have two governments.
Okay.
When Nevis want, they borrow, and when we want, we borrow. All those NHC houses you see around here, they are financed, maybe for, except for what? Maybe they want on Wellington Road, where the Venezuela government put in some. That is where the money come from. So to suggest that they have all this debt, is government debt. The statutory bodies in both islands borrow from Social Security. So if he put in any money, he put in what he owed them. Right? Not as to salvage them. Now, as to the age, from 2012, anybody who came in before 2011 were asked to retire at age 55. Now, by then and now, 13 years gone, right? Everybody should be made to in the public service should be allowed to retire at 62.
You feel 55 is too early?
But they're going to move the age of retirement forward, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you came in before 2011, you add to that 11 from 24. It's 13.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them came in at age 20. They're still under. So, since you know you're going to do that, because there's going to be a reluctance in increasing the contribution rate. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the only way of getting around that is to increase the retirement age. Therefore, everybody who came in at 20 before 2011, they should not be sent home at 55. They should automatically go until 62 because they'll have 5 more years to wait for. And the government has not yet decided the cutoff point. How close to the retirement age would they say? But if you're going to 60, Barbados has gone to 67, right? Which is 5 more years than what we have.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do that, then you have to decide maybe at age 60, you get some. You follow?
Yes.
I think sometimes the government, everybody keep pushing it. They have to do something. And all of these entities, because sometimes all this debt, the debt that the Social Security have is loans to government, and some of the government departments themselves are behind in their contribution.
So you're saying the government in what St. Kitts and Nevis need to service their debts?
Adequately.
Okay.
And then development bank belongs to the government. It's the same thing. They lend their money so they could onward lend. They must give people the whole story. So they lend, and then you had all of the COVID at the moratorium. You remember what we're talking about, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm aware, yes.
Yeah, people were given, in 6 months, then they say more months. So all of that would accumulate debt for Social Security. So the government must first begin to do what it should do. And they'd see people who, there's a good ad about pay a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have gotten the house since 1995 and they're not paying. Mm-hmm. Either put them up for sale or something.
So they need to be more stringent with them then, more strict.
I said put them out. Mm-hmm. When the British government built their houses, up the village and in town, 3 months you allowed delinquency for 3 months, and even if you paid in the 3 months and you paid at a later date, it was considered delinquent. We have people here living in government houses. Some of them have converted them into what they want, still not paying, and the blame goes on the political parties. When you're going to tell somebody you give them a house, if somebody give you out Devonne, you owe them for it. I mean, I know people, they're unreasonable, and every time a little thing, we borrow from Social Security, and then we make it sound like somebody got on Social Security. It's government fault. Another thing, they like to write off massive debt for their star supporters, delinquent.
All right.
And they write off the debt. So they are the one contributing.
All right, caller. We do have to take some more calls, so thank you so much for your contribution to the program. We'll take some more calls at 465-2555. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Devonne.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad.
All right.
First, I want to thank God for life. Thank God for the Federation. I think it's the Nevis. Now, Devonne, now with Social Security, I'm agreeing with certain things we said just now. Most of the things we said there. Because when Social Security going to give loan or help other institutions to build project houses and so, I believe that they should supposed to make people for these houses. The people, these houses who could afford to pay them, make them affordable. Okay, make them affordable that people could pay for them. Can't you still be in Henry? A lot of people in these project house wouldn't pay for them, you know. From 1995, me people mortgage from 1995. What you gonna tell me? And some of them say most below the Social Security. And the next thing again, I did ask the lady a question about how much people dying at the age and the board of 62 years. You got people just going to 62 or just make 62 years and they die, and that money is back in Social Security, and that money ain't going to the family members unless the person married or got children going to school or whatsoever.
But remember, for a case like that though, caller, when you make when contributions are made to Social Security, from the understanding I got from the representatives there, is you're paying into a pool. You're not necessarily paying into account. So it's not like you're paying into like your bank account at a bank. So you're paying into a pool and you're taking from that pool. Because you may have instances where you start to work, and let's say after 3 years you qualify for sick leave or whatever, and you get into an accident, you can no longer work for the rest of your life, but you've been getting Social Security assistance.
Yeah, the lady did tell me that. She did tell me that. I understand.
Right.
I understand some of the
So
things
that is what we have to,
She really
remember.
tell me that answer, that people who get damaged young, they could live off of Social Security for the balance of their life, and that money will help. You know what I mean? That person, and it goes out the wide and the broad. It goes in anybody. So I see nothing wrong with that. But still, you got some project on Social Security with still bad too, like up the beacon heights and all those things. We're supposed to know how these funds coming and money coming in to pay Social Security or whatever, because that was a big project, and we're supposed to know that if the project paying back Social Security or Social Security benefiting from that project, that money was spent to do all them work up beacon heights and those lands. You understand? So I believe that, I don't believe we don't get the truth about the real information. They tell us what they want to tell us. Eh? And I just believe that Social Security, I believe that is a body could stand on its own, and I do not believe that Social Security want to help from the CBI program.
All right, Colin, thank
so.
you. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. The phone lines remain open and we take your calls, 465-2555. Let me say good morning to John Warner in New Jersey, USA, and Bethy Change in Germany. Thank you for, I don't know if it's morning is it morning in Germany? I don't know if it's morning in Germany. I have to check that. But thank you for tuning in. You're listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. It's 11:39. Phone lines remain open. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook as well as TV. I think we do have some more callers coming in, so let's take this other one. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Greetings. Thanks for taking our call. You got any topic on the table? Come and want to talk something.
We are talking about the Social Security reform. Your take in terms of the recommendations that are being suggested, increasing the age, increasing the contribution rate. How do you feel about that?
Well, we never say nothing for now. We can just go and listen and pray. You see me?
All right.
Yeah. I said, don't drink your soup when it's hot all the time.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. It's
no, hold on, man.
You wanted to make another contribution?
Yes,
sorry?
Man, but me just wanted to know what you got on the table.
That is what I'm talking about for today. But do you want to make a contribution to something else?
Wait, no, man. Me can't talk about nothing else.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
Okay. You got black people in America who depend on our political divide, right? And some of them on the side of it, Trump there, right? You know, what other side the name again?
Republicans.
Okay. Me want to ask them people there, whether they're from St. Kitts or the parts of the Caribbean or the born in America, if them know about the trickery, if them part of the conspiracy, attempted assassination, if them know about it before. Because you got people who know that it is a setup, you know. But we want to know if black people in America know that. That is it is a setup from beginning to end. Him killing the man who pulled the trigger. All that is set up. So we would like to know, make sure people, ZIZ all over the world, make sure in America too, whoever listen, call in and make us know, if you know, that this is just like how we know. We want to know if you up there know. Me not talk about white people, you know. Me not business with them. Me not talk about black people in America. We want to know if you know that this assassination attempt with Donald Trump is a setup, is a fraud.
All right.
Give thanks for the time. Blessed Lord.
All right, Carla, thank you for your question. That's a big question, but thank you for it. We have more callers on the line. Okay, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation. Stay tuned.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with Skenaito, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Attention all businesses. The back-to-school season is here, and ZIZ Radio and Television has an unbeatable offer just for you. From July 1st to August 31st, take advantage of our special back-to-school promotion and reach thousands of parents, students, and educators. Whether you're selling school supplies, clothing, or offering educational services, ZIZ Radio and Television is your perfect partner. Our comprehensive advertising packages will help you connect with your target audience and boost your sales. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to showcase your products and services. Contact our sales and marketing department today at 465-26212 to book your spot. ZIZ Radio and Television, your trusted partner for your successful back-to-school promotions.
Time is time, and the team at MVI